on, get up, and we will play a game called Big Number, Big Question as we turn the page to week 2. Half the teams in the league, obviously, are staring down starting this season 0-2. And recent history tells us that starting the season with back-to-back losses leaves you in all kinds of trouble. Going back to the turn of the century, of the 209 teams that have started 0-2, only 22 of them make the playoffs. That's just 1 out of every 9.
Wow.
So I want to focus, and we're talking about must-wins is almost not an overstatement, which I know in and of itself is a contradictory phrase. But it's must-win time, and I want to focus on the Cowboys. We haven't seen them since last Thursday.
Okay.
I know there are no moral victories in the NFL.
No.
But we all thought they fought the Eagles pretty well.
So you gave them a moral victory.
I am giving.
I respect the way we're
I guess
starting.
what I'm saying is they better beat the Giants this weekend, or we're going to write them off.
100%. And they're the better team. I mean, if you look at them, from top to bottom, that's what you would expect, right? You have a better quarterback with Dak Prescott. You have a better defense. You're hoping. A better offense against their defense. So you're hoping you put up numbers, right? They played well against the Eagles, like you said. Didn't have enough plays to ultimately get that win. But this playing 2 division opponents right out of the gate, especially it matters more. It's a game and a half basically for what you're trying to get done, and they're a team you should beat. And so if you're the Cowboys, this is a must-win, which is crazy to say week 2.
We're literally talking about, will the Giants change quarterbacks?
Exactly.
After 1 game?
Right.
That's the state of where the Giants are in their offense with Russell Wilson. So if you are the Cowboys, coming off a game that you could have won, you go into this game and say, we got to stop them. We
That's
have
right.
to.
And you know what's crazy about it? I'll say this too, from playing as long is division opponents. That's the hardest part, because for whatever reason, it's just tough to put those teams away, right? Like it's no different than Philly and Dallas. You're like, oh, they played good because we know each other so well. So the Giants know the Cowboys. So it's not going to be just a cakewalk. You're going to walk in and they're just going to give in. This is one of those division opponents. There's a major rivalry here. All those different things. It just makes games tougher. And the Cowboys, they better be on alert. Again, this is not just going to be an easy win for them.
Their offense looked good. Like we saw what happened. They had opportunities. CD Lamb drops a couple of passes. They could have won. Their defense, I thought, played well.
They did.
Right against an Eagles team, they forced the Eagles to beat them a certain way, and the Eagles were able to do it. But that Giants, this feels like a must-win for the Cowboys.
I think all their games. Now that the Micah aspect of the defense, everybody thought, oh, this defense, what are they going to be able to do without them? They held their own. Now they got to continue that.
And the drop. So you
that
brought
won't
it up.
happen again.
That will not happen again. I mean, that was just so out of character. And you're talking about, one of the top 2 or 3 receivers in our game. And just that he had that much trouble. And you saw what I loved about it is after the game, the accountability that he took for it. And he's right back on the jugs machine the next one. Like, he gets it, man. Like, the kid gets it. He understands what role he played in that loss. That will not happen.
That's the point I guess I'm trying to make, and maybe I'm not doing a good job of it, which is if you said that's the way they're going to lose, that's the last thing I'm worried about.
Right.
There's no way. That's not a sign of trouble to come. That's just a fluky bad day or a fluky bad couple of moments by arguably the strongest part of your team. The question is, do they look like a legitimate playoff contender to you based on a good performance and a loss against the Eagles?
Not yet. I want to see them. They got to put some wins on. Like you're talking about a team, and again, injuries always come into play for the Cowboys for whatever reason. So early in the season, this is a must-win, but they still got some work to do.
It's early. They could definitely be a playoff team.
I feel I was one projecting the Cowboys for the playoffs before this season began, and the whole Micah thing, I think, just left such a pall over everything that they were doing that it made you forget whatever the expectations were. I thought all things considered, I know there are no moral victories in sports. I thought all things considered, that was if you're going to chalk one up as a good day or a bad day, that was a good day for the Cowboys. They have to back it up with a win against the Giants team that we don't like at all. Let me get to the next number here, and this one talks about the big-time contenders. Because if you start 0-2, your chances of getting to the playoffs, okay, they're not good. Your chances of getting to the Super Bowl, you might as well kiss them goodbye. In the Super Bowl era, there have been 451 teams that have started a season 0-2. Just 4 of them wound up making the Super Bowl. That is less than 1%. I don't care how good you are. Your chances of making the Super Bowl are less than 1% if you wind up starting the season 0-2. And I'm looking at the Lions. And we touched on it earlier, but I guess I will ask the question. Sometimes we say bad game, bad sign. I guess I'm asking you, horrendous game or horrendous sign?
I think horrendous game. That game was bad, but most of the talent that they have is still there. It would become a horrendous sign if this week they can't run the ball. I want them to be able to run the football because everything in their offense and their team is predicated around them being able to run the ball. As good as Jared Goff's numbers are, we know that he functions in this system really well, and I don't think we want to get into a situation where he does not have the support of the running game, and you don't, as good as Penei Sewell is. You don't want any of your linemen in a situation where they're 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 all the time, kick sliding backwards, trying to keep these pass rushers off their quarterback.
Jared Goff is a 10-year player, a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's played in a Super Bowl. He's played in 2 conference title games, and yet you watch Sunday, and the numbers are out there. He's 3-18 as a starter in games where Ben Johnson and Sean McVay are not calling the plays. I'm not questioning Jared Goff as a quarterback, and I know the Detroit Lions fans are not. But you better believe there will be some critics if they fall apart and they lose to Chicago. His old offensive coordinator, now the head coach of the Bears.
Here's my question for you, Louis, because you were on to the Lions. I remember 3 years ago at the draft, you said the Lions are going to be a team that's going to be in the NFC Championship game, and I think some people scoffed at it, and then that's absolutely where they were. And the primary reason, they had a swagger about them, right? They had sort of a cockiness, and it was reflected in the creativity of their offense. They were like, look at when Micah said, oh, they need trick plays because you can't beat us straight up. Like, the answer was, no, we need trick plays because we can kick your behind no matter how we want to do it. There was none of that on display on Sunday.
Yeah, the thing that you're starting to wonder about, or rather you will start to wonder about if they somehow lost this football game is, have they lost their identity somehow, some way? Now, and that wouldn't be because, the team is materially different. It is in some respects, but at the same time, it should be a little bit better as well, especially on the defensive side now that it's healthy. But the identity, it obviously starts with Dan Campbell, but look, John Morton, offensive coordinator, he has a lot of intention on him right now because offensively in particular, they need to be going forward that way, attacking the line of scrimmage, getting downhill with Jameer, getting downhill with Montgomery, getting downhill with the passing game, meaning down the field with guys like Jamison Williams and getting Amon-Ra going, getting Laporta going. This team, like last week, looked very predictable. It looked like a team that was shell-shocked and a team that was playing at a whole different speed than the other. And you've never said that about Detroit. You've never said Detroit takes a back seat to any team that they play against in terms of the speed and the effort they play with. They didn't look that way.
Feels like a must-win for the Lions in a division game against a team they think they should beat. We all think they should beat in the Bears, who'll be playing on a short week. And then we go to Kansas City. I keep calling them the defending champs. They obviously are not. But here they are facing a Super Bowl rematch against a team that just worked them in New Orleans in February. They will have to deal with Jalen Carter in this game, and they're coming back from Brazil where they looked just awful. What do we expect from them?
Yeah, I think their offense is going to revert back to what it was last year, and not necessarily in the level of productivity, but in the style. They're going to have to get the ball out quickly, especially against Jalen Carter, who's extra rested and I'm sure looking to prove a point. So that's the big question. Are they going to be able to manufacture some points? And another big question that came out of that Brazil game was issues on the defense. We didn't think that would be the problem. That's the big reason why they have been successful at least the last couple of seasons, was their defense was keeping them in games and allowing Patrick to take over at the end. If that defense can't do that, they could be in trouble.
In that Super Bowl, he was throwing passes to Sky Moore and Justin Watson, and you thought, okay, well, now a healthy Hollywood Brown, and now you've got Xavier Worthy in year 2, and Rashee Rice, and I still have issues with the wide receiver position. And if Xavier Worthy is going to be week to week or going to miss some time, all of a sudden you're looking at that level of caliber player after Hollywood Brown, and you're saying to some of these second and tier guys, hey, we need you to step up now. And this is the kind of thing where you want to deal with that in week 13, 14, where maybe you've got the guy. Week 2, and if their offense and Xavier Worthy was such a key piece to it, gosh, I'm fascinated to see how they're going to do it. It's a Vic Fangio defense.
What's really wild is, like, as good as they've been and as dynastic as they have been, and they have been, you can't argue that. Like, Patrick doesn't have a guy he can just turn around and hand the ball off to and say, hey, take some pressure off of me for a minute. Because I can't be out here doing everything all the time. That's the thing that really worries me about the offense, even probably more so than the wide receivers. Who is the dude that he can turn around and go, I'm going to feed it to you 25, 30 times. In this game, I'm going to take a back seat. And you're right. If the defense, if that is like forecasting that's how it's going to look all season long, which I doubt that it will, then you're really in trouble. And so, I will never jump the gun on this football team, and especially 15. because the dude is one of the best we've ever seen. And he will rally this football team himself. Man, they've got some issues.
Well, look, I'm not suggesting that this moment has already arrived. But Tom Brady sort of had two chapters. If we're going to say Mahomes is going to, make a run at being the greatest of all time, Brady had kind of two chapters to his Super Bowl runs. It can't be the best team in the league for 20 years. Mahomes is going to be their quarterback for, let's call it 15 years. They're not going to be the best team in the league all 15 of those. Is this the moment for that lull when the division finally catches up to them? And Josh looks ready, and maybe Lamar's team is ready, all these other things. And the Eagles, what they've lost is in their secondary. I don't know that the Chiefs look ready to take advantage if that is their weakness.
Yeah, I mean, this could be. The problem is we thought that lull was coming, and then they won the Super Bowl.
I
think that's why we're all pretty hesitant. Yeah. Like when they started to make those moves, we thought they were going to take a step back. They never did, and so we'll see what happens coming forward. But there's certainly opportunity.
What does give me a little bit of an alarm, and like Lewis, I've long been a Chiefs apologist, if you will. All offseason they heard it wasn't happening. All offseason they heard this was here. And then week one they came out flat. That scares me.
Yeah, and we'll see. And now they get the Eagles. This is a revenge game for Kansas City.
Third and short. Purdy able to complete it to Ayuk. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8. They'll throw again with Purdy. The throw on the move is caught. And he's in. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. That's his second touchdown so far here in the first half. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer, because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
On is Moody to add the extra point. He's got it. And the 49ers are able to cut into the deficit. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Hardman now to return it. Whoa! And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. So we've reached halftime here at Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll get you down to Orlando now. That's where the coach is, Jonathan Coachman, and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. He came out of the gate smoking hot with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes to help steer his guys towards this halftime lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, second half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Throwing is Purdy. 45-yard line. That's a gain of 19 and a very quick first down.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
They run straight ahead with McCaffrey. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. They run once more with McCaffrey. And now for a second time, he loses the football. And this is taken in by the defense.
So the biggest thing that stands out here, Mike, is the fact that the defense just continues to pursue the ball. Every defense focuses on get as many hats to the ball carrier as possible because the guy in front of you, he misses the tackle or he falls down. You have to be there to make up for it, and the pursuit to the ball is not only how they're able to get him down, it's ultimately how they're able to take the ball away.
The Chiefs offense ready for their first possession. And remember now, all turnovers must be reviewed by replay. So this one is going to need a little closer look. At issue was the knee or any other body part except the hand down before the ball comes loose. And are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field? So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. And he's going to have a 49ers first down. They're able to convert on 3rd and short, picking up 4.
I like the element of surprise here, Mike. It seemed like everyone was so keyed elsewhere on the play that nobody even gave a thought to him potentially getting the run. Didn't take him long to see he was going to be able to clearly pick up that first down.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Throwing from the gun is Purdy. Now a shot downfield for Samuel. And he's got another one. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, 49ers. He has come alive after the break. His 3rd touchdown of the second half. And that is the hat trick. What a game.